Today our case brings us to Oregon State, which can be found in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. Here lies a small unincorporated community called Alsea in Benton County. Anna Repkina was from Moscow in Russia and was 26 years old when she met a man named William Hargrove on a Russian dating site in 2016. Anna had joined this site looking for love a year after her 7-year relationship ended. She was eager for a fresh start, and by now she was also ready to settle down and have children. When she met Will, she felt an instant connection with him and felt he could be the one. They mainly messaged each other through Facebook and would video chat nearly every day. They exchanged hundreds of messages and really bonded over their love of music. She had a great sense of humour and would communicate with her family and friends by sending them funny memes. She had a really good job working in the office of her local IKEA store. She had lots of friends and they would say she was a very chill person and easy to get on with. She loved her cats and animals in general, but the main thing she loved to do was travel. Will was described by his friends as a great guy, very charming, and made you feel like you were the only person in the room when he spoke to you. He was funny and witty and just an all-round nice guy. He worked as a car mechanic and spent most of his time hanging out with his friends at the local pool hall. When he was in conversation with Anna, he told her he was an ex-Marine and had once been stationed in Russia, and so he had a deep fascination for the place. To show his devotion to Anna, he even sent her flowers while she was still living in Russia. Will quickly won her heart. By December 2016, it was decided that Anna would fly to Oregon to meet Will for the first time, hoping that their connection would be as strong in person. But not everything would go smoothly. Unknown to Anna, she had booked the wrong flight, and instead of arriving in Portland, Oregon, she ended up in Portland, Maine, on the other side of the continent. Anna, with the help of Will, got a flight to her correct destination and they finally met. Their time together initially was perfect. Will introduced her to his friends, brought her sightseeing and loved on her, giving her all the attention she could ask for. Anna was in her element and felt that this could really go somewhere, and it did. During her 10-day stay, Will proposed and Anna accepted. Will at this time was living in a rented room of a house owned by the Chavez family, who had 2 children. The mother was 33-year-old Michelle, and she had met Will back in 2015 when she was working as a taxi driver. She would hang around the bars waiting to pick up punters after closing, and one night she met Will, and they got talking. Michelle's marriage wasn't the best. She would later say they were like roommates. They shared a bed, but there was no longer romance within their marriage. It was a loveless one. She would say she felt invisible and underappreciated, and so when Will started giving her the attention she craved, she fell hard for him. So much so she even invited him to live in their spare room, paying $300 a month. Obviously, her husband had no idea they were having an affair. Will wanted Michelle to leave her husband, and Michelle said she would, but in her time. But she did give Will her wedding ring to show him that she was committed to him. But this was not good enough for Will, and so to move things along, he decided to go on a dating site to meet someone in the hopes it would make Michelle jealous enough to make her want to leave her husband sooner. And so this is when poor Anna came into the picture. It's safe to say neither Michelle's husband nor Anna had any idea what was really going on. When Anna was in Oregon, they even stayed in Michelle's house, which I'm sure drove her mad, which suited Will fine. Michelle soon became jealous and hostile towards Anna, and Anna couldn't understand why. After the 10 days were up, Anna returned to Russia to pack up her life and move permanently to the US and begin a new life with Will. In the meantime, Michelle approached Will and told him what he had done was not cool, and there was no way Anna was returning to live in her house, and Will would have to move out. On the 1st of March 2017, Anna returned to the US. The first thing that needed to be done was plan the wedding. Will had moved out of Michelle's house and rented a place in Corvallis, which is around a 32-minute drive north of Alsea. Things though were not over between Will and Michelle, and they continued to see each other behind their partner's back. Will leaving Anna in their apartment to go meet Michelle and even staying the night at hers. Anna soon got suspicious and questioned Will. Of course, he gave her the usual spiel that he was working overtime, that he was meeting with his friends, etc. But like most women, she was not buying this, and when Michelle added Anna on Facebook, it would all come out. You see, when Michelle went to Anna's Facebook page, she saw a picture of the engagement ring she had posted and saw that it was the same ring that she had given to Will, her wedding ring. Michelle immediately messaged Anna, telling her the ring she was wearing was hers and that she had given it to Will. Anna relayed the story that Will had told her, that it was a family heirloom, that it had been in Will's family through generations. But Michelle was not having any of it and told Anna straight. She told Anna everything, how Will had lied to her about the ring and that the two of them were having an affair. When Anna confronted Will about what Michelle had told her, he brushed it off and told her Michelle was a crazy ex-girlfriend that was making it all up, all out of jealousy and to break them up. Anna decided to message Michelle and tell her to back off and stop being a bitch. Michelle's response was, "If you think this is bitchy, just you wait and see." Despite all these revelations, Anna chose to believe Will and go ahead and marry him 3 days later. But this too would not be straightforward. On the 25th of March 2017, it was the day they were to get married. Anna wore a dress that she had brought from Russia. On the way there, they stopped off in Walmart so Will could purchase their wedding bands, which was captured on CCTV. It also showed Will on the phone. At first, it was thought he was speaking to Anna, who was waiting outside in the car, but instead it was to Michelle, asking her if he could come over that night, his wedding night. After the rings were purchased, they headed to the beach, where they were to meet the officiant who was to marry them. But he wasn't there, and he wouldn't be, as it was all a lie. Will never organised one. He didn't even have a marriage licence. While there, Will pretended to ring the officiant and proceeded to tell Anna that the person was sick. Anna, though disappointed, only saw that they would have to put off the wedding to another day. With that, the couple made their way home, but on the way they stopped off at McDonald's drive-thru and got something to eat, which was captured on CCTV, and it can be clearly seen that Anna is still in her wedding dress, which is so sad. Whatever Will was playing at, it was working, leading Anna to believe he loved her and Michelle getting more jealous by the minute. Michelle contacted Will and gave him an ultimatum. Choose her or Anna. If he chooses her, she will leave her marriage immediately, but Anna would have to be gone from their lives. There will be a lot of back and forth messages between Will and Michelle over the coming weeks. Michelle telling him that she wants Anna gone, even telling him to fix it. On Easter Saturday, the 15th of April 2017, Michelle was supposed to have dinner at Will's apartment, but Will told her that Anna had come back and she couldn't come over. He reassured her, telling her, "Don't worry, I will have this permanently solved by 6 p.m. the following evening." After this conversation, Michelle tried contacting Will multiple times, but he had turned off his phone. She left him several voice messages throughout the night and into the Sunday morning. "I guess you made your choice. Okay, I'll let you be. Why? I want to know why." On the Easter Sunday, Michelle went to see her mother. As for Will, he was busy trying to defer a payment owed to his car insurance company. He didn't have the money but said he would have it on the 21st of the month. But the insurance company was adamant that it had to be paid by that evening, or the policy would be cancelled. Later, at around 4:30 p.m, Will finally got in contact with Michelle and asked her to meet him in Alcy as he had a flat tyre and needed help. When Michelle arrived at the store, Will picked her up and they went for a drive. Pulling over, he told her he had been to the beach and that he and Anna had a big fight and that she had packed her bags and left. Michelle, being delighted with this news that Anna was finally gone, they both ended up having sex in the front seat of his car and then returning to the place they had met up. They parted ways, Michelle returning to her family Easter celebrations and Will to his apartment. On his way home, he stopped at an ATM and withdrew $200 from Anna's account, telling the worker there that he had just broke up with his girlfriend and receiving a hug in return. Then he went to another ATM and withdrew $600 from Anna's account again. Later that evening, he went to another ATM and deposited $160 into his own account and then made a phone call to pay his car insurance in order to keep his policy active. During this time, he also sent several messages to Anna's phone, expressing concern for her and asking where she was, saying, "I'm sorry, please come home, please, I need you, just let me know you were safe." It would be early Easter Monday morning, the 17th of April, that Anna's lifeless body would be found by a local groundskeeper on a log road in Alsea. She was fully clothed, lying with her feet towards the road and a gunshot to her head. The police were called and on arriving, the investigators found bags of trash near her body. This would be gathered up and it would hold the key to solving this murder. Meanwhile, Will decided to go on a shopping spree that Monday, buying candy and a Lego set among other things with Anna's money. He texted his friend Thomas saying, "Spending money I shouldn't, I'm trying to distract myself." When his phone records and internet searches were checked, he had some strange searches, asking people on forums and WhatsApp groups how to time travel, how his friend had made a terrible mistake and wanted to go back in time to change it, and he was willing to sell his soul. Once the investigators started processing the crime scene and go through the trash, they found a receipt for KFC from 3 days earlier. Contacting the KFC, they were able to trace the purchases by the timestamp on the receipt and pull up the CCTV footage, which showed two men in a car making separate purchases. One was paid for in cash and the other was paid for by a card in the name of Kevin Thomas. The police contacted Thomas and brought him in for questioning. He told police that he went to KFC every Friday with his brother, and his brother was none other than Will Hargrove. They were not biological brothers, it was just how they referred to each other, being such close friends.
The garbage we found was, I think, something you bought last week from KFC.
Okay.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, me and my brother go to KFC.
Go to KFC.
On Fridays.
What's your brother's name, Kevin?
Will Hargrove.
Thomas also told police that Will had borrowed his shotgun a few weeks earlier to go shooting and let off some steam. He said he never returned this shotgun. The KFC receipt was not the only receipt the police found. They also had one from McDonald's dated the 25th of March and were able to trace the purchase to Will also, as when they pulled up the CCTV footage it showed Anna still in her wedding dress in the passenger seat and Will driving. It was the day they were to get married. When police spoke to Will, he denied everything. He said that he and Michelle had gone on a drive that day to Alsea before Michelle went to her family's Easter gathering. When asked, did he drop any trash in the area, he said yes, but that it was at the side of the store where he purchased the items, candy and cigarettes and a drink, which could be seen on CCTV. The police wanted to talk to Will a bit more and invited him down to the station. Before Will went, he messaged Michelle telling her, "Picked you up at your mum's, drove to Alsea General Store and drove back." Obviously, he was trying to create an alibi for himself through Michelle. The police by now had a lot of evidence on Will, including other footage showing Will's truck driving towards Alsea early on the 16th of April, the day Anna was killed. Will's phone records revealed pings from the murder site between 4:30 and 4:48 p.m. that afternoon. This is when he had called Michelle, who was still at her mother's house. By now Anna was dead. The police surmised she had died around lunchtime. The police also recovered the shotgun belonging to Thomas. It was found in the back of Will's truck. When they examined it, only Will's fingerprints were found. Anna's blood was found on clothing belonging to Will, along with her credit cards. Spots of blood on Will's head could be clearly seen on CCTV footage, but were not present later. Will told police at first that he did not know Anna at all, But as the police divulged the evidence they had on Will, he slowly changed his story. He told police that he had met Anna in Corvallis and he had gone on a couple of dates with her, but that he was not interested in pursuing any type of relationship with her. He told her he would stay friends with her and hang out. He described how she had put up a post on Facebook that they were engaged, and to him this was the last straw, describing Anna as a psycho. He said that this post caused ructions in his real relationship that was with Michelle. It was at this moment the police showed Will the most crucial evidence they had on him, the trash that Will had said he dumped at the side of the store, which in fact was found near Anna's body and not where he said. It was then Will asked for a lawyer and where police put him under arrest for Anna's murder, as well as identity theft and 2 counts of theft. He was held without bail at Benton County Jail in Oregon, pending his hearing and trial, which would end up being scheduled for October 2019. Following Will's arrest, Michelle was brought in for questioning. At first she played along and told the police what Will had told her to say. But as soon as she was told that Will had been charged with murder, she realised that she could be charged also, and so she changed her story and told the truth. She admitted the affair and how long they had been in a relationship. She explained how Anna was coming between them, that she wanted her gone but not dead. She says she had no idea that Will had done something to her and she was not involved. The trial began in October 2019 and lasted 4 weeks. Over 70 witnesses testified. Opening statements focused on how Will had got caught up in a love triangle involving Michelle and Anna, which ultimately led to Anna's death. It was suggested that Anna was lured to her death by Will on that Easter Sunday by suggesting they go for a drive and a walk in the woods in Alsea. Once there, he led her into the forest where he shot poor Anna in the back of the head, then robbed her of her ATM cards. The defence team would try and put the blame on Michelle, the jealous lover who hated Anna and wanted her gone. They said that Michelle had given Will an ultimatum to choose between the two of them. They also said that Will loved Anna and planned to build a life with her, that Michelle had taken the gun from Will and shot her. They said Michelle was in possession of Anna's phone after her death and suggested that Michelle's phone had pinged in the area Anna was found a month before her killing. However, Michelle testified that she did not know the phone was Anna's and that Will had given it to her the night of his arrest. She also said that Will had taken her to the area the month prior to the murder and denied any involvement. She said she only wanted Anna to leave and never wanted her harmed. She also said the ultimatum was only a joke. Michelle's fingerprints were not found on the gun used to kill Anna, only Will's were. Her phone records showed that she was at her mother's house during the time of Anna's murder. Additionally, they presented evidence showing that Will had met up with Michelle after the murder, where they had sex in Will's car. In the end, Will was found guilty of Anna's murder, as well as identity theft and 2 counts of second-degree theft for stealing money from Anna's bank account. Anna was also mentioned in the court by the prosecutor's district attorney. She said Anna came here with hopes and dreams to find somebody that was going to love her and start a family with. She doesn't have that anymore. The defendant very nearly got away with this murder. It was his trash that betrayed him. In January 2020, Will Hargrove was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 25 years. Michelle moved to New York. It is said that Michelle tried to take her own life multiple times, as the intense scrutiny and rumours severely tarnished her reputation and affected her family's life. I don't think Michelle had anything to do with Anna's murder. For one, she had an alibi, and 2, she wouldn't be stupid enough to leave trash at the scene of the murder which could be traced back. Unfortunately for Will, he was that stupid. An appeal was filed in 2019 for the murder conviction, which was overturned in 2023 due to a flawed search warrant and improperly collected evidence. A new trial was set to begin in April 2025. Anna's ashes were flown back to Russia to her family, where they could lay her to rest. She was a beautiful soul that trusted the wrong person, that would use her to secure the jealousy of another woman, and then when he got what he wanted, he killed her. She was a pawn to him, a way to get what he wanted, with no consideration for her. He then disposed of her along with his other trash. But to Anna's family and friends, she was everything: young, vibrant, beautiful, and a kind soul. During the course of the trial, the jury developed a special bond, and so after the trial was over, they came together and erected a cross in Anna's memory where she was killed. I think that says a lot about this community. Rest in peace, Anna. Thank you all for watching, and if you haven't already, please check out my other channel, Irish Coffee True Crime.